Great. So we're going to start with that upper back area. I like to start with 2 balls because it's a little bit milder, and so it's nice to kind of warm up with both balls. So if you've got 2 in the sock or the bag, that little space between the balls is going to be what's on your spine. Just going to kind of reach it to where we can reach. Lay on it. You could do this on the wall as well. And then just kind of work that area between the shoulder blades. So we've been working our way up our body from our feet. Next week, we'll be back at our feet. So today we have the chest, the upper back, the shoulder area. And then, of course, if you are thinking, oh, I don't need to roll that area is great, by all means, please roll any area of your body you like. And if you need any pointers, any tips, not sure what to do, just tag me in the message box, the chat box, and I can help you out there. So we're just going to start right here for a couple of minutes, getting both sides. Now you'll be able to stay into both sides, or we'll switch to a single ball in another minute or two. And I'm just rolling this area right between my shoulder blades. Of course, if you'd like to roll down to the center of the back or the low back, you can. Let me go a little into my low back, that feels, or my center back, feels kind of good. And then back up. Your hands can really be wherever you like. I tuck them behind my head for support and to keep my ponytail out of the way also. Now you could do this on the wall. If laying on your back is a problem, just take the balls between you and the wall. And then maybe take a minute and kind of rock side to side. And the other thing I like to do is even just lay over the balls for, a few breaths. It's a great chest stretch here. The balls massage right in between those shoulder blades. Oh, take a couple of breaths. And go back to rolling a little bit. Welcome. So we got people coming in. Welcome, Mary. Welcome, Jenny. Welcome, Kathleen. Welcome, Amanda. Right there. Nice. Now, if this feels just right to you, then go ahead and continue with the 2 balls. I want a little bit deeper massage. So this is where I'll now take 1 ball out, and I'm going to roll just one side at a time. So you can choose whichever side you want. We're going to roll between the shoulder blade and the spine. So again, I'll just kind of reach the ball somewhat into place, lay on it. Now it's going to be a little more intense, because I'm working just the one area. And a lot of times here, I'll just lay on the ball and move the arm. So the shoulders area of our body, it moves in the most different directions. So by bringing the ball into the place and flossing, moving the arm, massage there. I can keep my glutes on the ground, or if I want more, and I lift those glutes up. This one can be pretty intense. So remember, you can keep both balls, or you can go to the wall. Welcome, Evelyn. And then whenever I need kind of a little bit of a break, I can just drop my glutes, drop my low back, around my head, take some pressure off the ball. And I can arch back over it and round back up. So all different ways that I can move here. There's a tender spot, maybe just hold on the tender spot. I'm going to put my head on the ground, but lift my glutes. Try that out. Oh. So let's stay a few minutes on one side, and then we'll go to the other side. Now, to get up high on your shoulder, a couple of different ways that you can do this. One is to really lift the glutes up. So I'm going to really press the glutes up and bring that ball right up to the back of my shoulder. So that's one way I can get in there. The other way is to kind of use a wall. So I could do this seated or standing. And if I lean back into the wall, right there. So if you can see, the ball is like right here where my finger is. And so if I turn around and show you, I've got the ball right there. That's that little spot. Often very, very tight, right at the top of the shoulder. It's sometimes hard to get to from the floor unless you lift your glutes, or you can come into a wall and work into that. Welcome, Brittany. Welcome, Alexis. maybe another minute on this side, and then we'll switch. So if you're just in, we started with 2 balls, and now we move to the option of 1, and we're massaging right up around the shoulder, so kind of between the shoulder blades, up towards kind of the base of the shoulder, that place where you're always, I don't know if you are, but I'm always reaching and going, oh, that's so tight right there. That's the area I'm really working right now. And I find if I do it on the wall or if I lift my glutes into the air, I can get into that spot better. Down between the shoulder blade and the spine. Now, if you know your body and you know that this side that you're on right now is a little bit tighter side, then feel free to stay on it a little longer if you like, or go ahead and start transitioning to the other side. And you'll have the option, you could always come back if you come to this other side and you're like, oh, this is not very tender at all. And maybe roll here for a minute or so and then switch back to the more tender side. If you find that this side's more tender, or stay here. So if you're on the floor and you find this is a little bit too intense, got a couple of options. One is to use the 2 balls, so one on each side of the spine. The other is to come to the wall. So those of you that just came in, I can take this ball right into that spot on my back. I can sit or I can stand, and I can work it right into the wall here. Sometimes I prefer the wall to the floor. So if you have a wall somewhere and you want to give it a try, just work all up and down between that shoulder blade. You feel the knotted areas. Try to stick on that knotted area a little bit more. Welcome, Anne-Marie. I like to kind of just push into it. What I like about setting on the floor is I can kind of grip the ground and I'm pushing my back into the ball. I'm using a little bit of force there. Welcome, Jennifer. Welcome, Kelsey. All right, so if you're just coming in, we're rolling up around those shoulder blades. We have a few more minutes on this side, but if you missed one, you might want to take 2 balls so you can roll both sides at the same time. Now, if you're just coming in, I'm using the wall. You do not have to be. You can be down on the floor. I just came up and it felt good, so I decided to stay right here on the wall. You're in control, so feel free to move on before I move on. Feel free to roll a different area of your body. Especially most of you come all the time, so you kind of got this down. If this is your first time, you may want to stay with us together just to experience it all. Nice. All right, so we're going to come around to the front. We're going to come around and get the chest. You'll have a chance to go back to the back in a little bit. So we're going to kind of work some different areas. And then at the end, I'm going to say, hey, spend the last 5 minutes wherever you want. When I roll my chest, you can use this smaller ball. I have 2 sizes. And so I really like to use the little bit bigger ball when I roll my chest. I feel like I can get onto it more. But I'm going to show you with the small ball a couple of ways. One is on the belly. We're going to work this area all through here and then kind of up under the armpit. So all here and under the armpit. So with the small ball, if you got, if you got fairly decent sized girls, the bigger ball may work a little better because it gives you more space away from the floor. But you can do this on the floor. You can also do this on a wall. So I could come, put the ball here, and then I'm going to take my arm out to the side and come into my ball, into the wall. So I can stay a little bit sideways. So this may be more comfortable for your chest to choose the wall versus the floor, because I have a little more space here. But whichever side you're rolling, take that arm. So if I'm rolling, this left side, I'll take my arm out to the side. Small ball, or like I said, I have a little bit bigger size as well, and I kind of like, this is my favorite, is to use a little bit bigger ball. Lacrosse balls are pretty intense. They're pretty hard. So if you are using a lacrosse ball, you may want to go to the wall instead of the floor. And if you're pretty sore through your chest, you may want to go to the wall. Or you can also simply take the ball and use it like a handheld massager. So I can roll it, I can circle it. I could use both hands for a little more pressure. Welcome, Sandra. Welcome, Sarah. So I could use, I'm sore through my chest, so even this right here is plenty today. Do get a little bit underneath that armpit, that little area that if you raised your arms, you can grab that little muscle right there. Get into that as well. Maybe another minute here on this side, and then we'll switch sides. So rule of thumb, I say it, every week, but I know we get some new people from time to time. No more, like max 10 minutes per area. And here we usually go between 3 and 5, kind of depending on the area. It's not that you're necessarily going to hurt yourself if you stay longer, but you're going to kind of lose the benefit. Because what we're doing is we're bringing the blood supply in, we're messing with the fascia, we're loosening it up, and then we just want to back off and let it have a little bit of a break. And then you can come back to it later that day or the next day. It would be fine, but give it a little bit of break. Move my arm here. Nice. Now we're just going to move out over the delt muscle and down the bicep. So if you're really liking this chest area, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, I can stay in this position and I'm going to come right on to the front of the shoulder, top of the arm or the deltoid. Arm out to the side, and then I can roll down my bicep. So a lot of times I'm not very tight in my biceps, so I would maybe skip doing this. So if you're here and you're like, oh, that doesn't do much for me, then feel free to go back to the chest or stay right here on the upper part of the arm, the deltoid muscle. I can move. What I like to do best here is just hold the ball in place and just move my arm, floss my arm, and that gets that muscle to move. And then you could always go back between the shoulder blades, especially if you came in a little bit after we started. We did start with that area right between the spine and the shoulder blade. So you could go against a wall or lay on your back. I'm just going to show you that. Those of you that just came in, we were right here. We had the ball, small ball, big ball, right between the spine and the shoulder blade. And we were rolling here. So if you're on the front and you're like, oh, I don't need it there, then maybe go back to the back. Your biceps are sore, do roll down the bicep. It's always a good idea to take at least a few sweeps down the bicep, even if it doesn't feel sore, because it is interconnected in with the shoulder, with the elbow. So sometimes you're like, my bicep, I'm not feeling anything there, but it is having some benefit to other areas of your body. All right, just a little bit longer on this side and we'll switch sides. Play with the position of your arm. I like to sometimes bring it up onto my low back. Really opens up the front of that deltoid. You feel a little bump, a little speed bump is what I like to call them. Right, that is a tight muscle. You can hold onto it. A lot of times you get to loosen. Nice. And then we'll just take all this to the other side. So same thing. We'll start here with this chest region. A little bit under the arm. You can go against the wall. So just imagine I'm standing here, kneeling next to a wall, right? Same thing. Arm out to the side. You can do it on the ground too. So if I've got it here under my right arm, I can turn my body a little bit to the left. This gives my chest somewhere to go. You feel a little squished. And then if you are able to stay for yin tonight, we will spend part of the time at least stretching these areas that we're rolling. And then also roll out over that deltoid muscle. Kind of the right where the top of your humerus comes into your shoulder socket. And you can roll down that bicep as well. Remember, feel free to go to a wall. And also you can use the ball like a handheld massager. Several different options to find a place that works for you. Keeping the ball in place and moving the arm. If you have that ball right on that deltoid, you can move your arm up and down. You can rotate palm up, palm down. Down the bicep. We'll get that tricep in a moment from the back side. We'll have a couple of different options at the end to revisit or try our face or our forearm. Nice. About another minute here. These are smaller areas, smaller muscle groups. So usually 3 to 5 minutes is plenty. We're doing about 3. Welcome, Amy. Nice. All right, so now we're going to come around to the back side. I usually go back to the small ball if you've got different sizes. We're going to start on the outside. So kind of, you've got your shoulder blade, and you can actually roll over your shoulder blade as well. And then down, kind of right along the armpit. And then you can come up the back side of the delt and down the tricep. So we can do it on the ground or against the wall. So if I were on the ground, I'm going to bring the ball kind of into this area. Work it around. There's some pretty tender spots on most people where it's kind of the entryway into the rotator cuff. And it's usually kind of right up about right here where I have this ball. So if it's too intense, just move below it, move above it. Oftentimes when I find it, I just hold. And again, I move the arm versus moving the ball. Now, sometimes you get a little bit of a crick in your neck, holding it up, so you could always stack some pillows here. Or, like I said, I oftentimes like to just use the wall. So bring the ball there and come in to my wall. And you could do this seated, standing, kneeling. Can roll over the actual shoulder blade. It's a little bit more of a bony area, so just be gentle. You do have muscle tissue that goes over that shoulder blade. And then you can roll down the tricep. I usually like to go across the tricep. So take the ball and just roll across the tricep. So again, triceps for me aren't usually too sore. Mine actually are sore today. They're not usually a real tight area. So maybe even just a minute on your tricep. Just to kind of see, just to make sure everything's good. Triceps aren't an area that I roll every week. But that's just me. If you tend to have pretty tight triceps, then you want to roll the triceps more. A couple more minutes on this back side. And then we'll switch after a couple of minutes. And then we'll have about 7 minutes at the end, which I'll go over doing a little bit of forearm and face or neck. You'll have some options. So you won't really have time to do it all. You can kind of choose whatever feels best to you. You can try everything for maybe a minute and then choose what you like best. And just a reminder for those of you that came in a bit after we started, you can do any part of your body. You don't feel like you're not going to offend me at all if you're rolling your feet or your glutes or your hamstrings. That's how I view this class after about 4 weeks. If you can come 4 weeks in a row, you're going to have gone through all the parts of your body. And then I may say something just a little different from 1 week to the next that, clicks. But basically, we'll switch sides here. Basically, after 4 weeks, if they're in a row, you will have gotten through the entire part of your entire body, toe to head. So next week, we'll be back down at the feet, the shins, the calves. So then I tell people, just use this as your time, set it aside. Because if you're like me, I say I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to do it unless I sign up for a class, and there's other people here. So just then come and have that freedom to roll any part of your body you like. And you can always chat me questions. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to chat me. I'll do my best to answer. If I don't know, I'll let you know that as well, and I'll try to find the answer for you. All right, so same thing on this side. We're getting up and down the shoulder blade, right there on the edge, and then over the back delt, the rear delt, and down the tricep. These are the areas we're covering. Feel free to drink water as much as you need it in this class. It's always really, really important to drink water after a myofascial release, whether it's self-rolling or getting a massage, because we are kind of breaking up scar tissue. We need our body to help us flush it out. That's how it helps loosen the tenseness in the muscles, breaks up any scar tissue that might be there. So it's going to make the muscle able to move better. It's going to make it less tight and packed so that blood vessels can flow through. And our blood vessels are what carry, our nutrients. It's what carries the oxygen to the various parts of our body. So it's super, super important to have some recovery. Not just rest. Rest is good, but some stretching, some deep stretching like we do in yin, which we now have 6 nights a week, friends. So Lindsay teaches it on Friday evenings after vinyasa. So super, super exciting. Saturday evenings, the only day we don't have yin. So I can surely make 1 or 2 each week. And then we do just have this class on Sunday, but it is on demand. Nice. Into that tricep. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is show you a couple of different areas. I'm just going to kind of, rapid fire in about 60 seconds, show you a bunch of different areas. You can choose one of those areas, or you could continue to roll the chest or the back, another area that you've been working on. So forearms, you can do it on the ground, but you have to kind of, hunch over. So I like to use a shelf, a bench, a table, and you can rotate your palm up and work the ball right here under your forearm. You could also use the ball like a hand massager. So again, these are areas that people aren't always as tight in, unless like you're a tennis player or something like that. So I just offer them as an option. Face, an awesome face massage. I like to use 2 balls. So feel free, those forearms felt great, go with it. Our face massage, you can take the balls into the temples. You can roll them out over the face. Now, face massage, I think, feels way better with these massage balls than with the tennis ball, because tennis balls are kind of scratchy. You can give it a try. Great little, you can come up under the chin. Rolling that out. And then the other one I want to show you is your neck. You will need a book or something that's a couple of inches thick, or a yoga block. And then remember, it is completely up to you. You can roll all these areas. You can roll one of the areas. We've got like 4 minutes left. So feel free, if the forearm felt good, if the face felt good, you want to go back to the back or shoulders. Or if you want to take these last 4 minutes, it's great because you get to lay down. You do need to place the balls on a book or a yoga block though. So if you don't have a yoga block, even a book that's like 2 inches thick, you place the balls on it, and then you let the center of the 2 balls kind of cradle your spine. Then you can just massage and rock your head around side to side here. Concentrating maybe more on one side, and then concentrating maybe more on the other side. So this is one of my faves. So this is where I'm going to choose to spend these next 3 minutes now. Feel free to roll between the shoulder blades, go back to the chest, go back to the arms, work the forearms, work the face, maybe the feet, maybe the glutes, any option that you like. So I really like to, even though both balls are here, I kind of rock my head to one side a little. And I just go back and forth over that muscle. And then I rock my head to the other side, and I go back and forth, back and forth. So it's those muscles that run right from the base of your skull. So you're kind of right there below the occipital lobes of the brain. Just working right along that cervical spine. Again, this is one of my favorite places. So welcome if you're starting to come in for yin. We have a couple of minutes left here in release and restore. So if you are new and you're like, why are they laying on the floor? What are they doing? They are rolling. And at this point, we're all kind of maybe rolling different areas of our body. But welcome, welcome. We will transition to yin in just a minute or two, a little under 2 minutes. So feel free to just have a seat. Feel free to take care of anything that you need to take care of. Maybe grab some pillows, right? Always an option in yin. You know what, and if you're coming in, maybe grab a strap if you have a yoga strap, or a tie or a belt, or even a towel could work. So I'm going to say all this again, so don't worry. I'm just kind of giving the people that are coming in early something they can do. And then release and restore as you have officially 1 minute left. So continue to enjoy rolling, or if you want to come up and get some water and kind of start to set up your space, you can do that as well. So we just have this kind of 1 minute transition. So welcome everyone joining us. And then for all of you that are going to stick around, you can stay for as much or little as you like. So if you're like, man, I don't have time to stay for all of yin, don't worry, stay for 10 minutes if you can. Whatever you can stay for, you're more than welcome to stay for. All right, I'm just going to officially end our rolling recording.